Right, silver, wonderful, ideal day. Open at low of day, close at high of day, up 10 point something percent. I don't think it's ever happened. If it has, I just can't think of it right now. It's such a good candle. It looks like it's AI generated. It's closed in a way to suggest Monday we continue. There's some serious price rediscovery. The London paper price is just completely malfunctioning. I think they've increased their short interest. Whatever, some stuff they're doing behind the scenes probably won't work. Even Elon Musk has noticed silver's price. Samsung bought a mine. I don't know what happens next, but it's going to the next level. It's must be scary. I don't know who's short. I don't know anyone who's short. That must be terrifying. This is doing a nickel, right? Remember nickel? It went just absolute short squeeze. It came back down. I don't think silver's going to come back down. I think if it comes back down, we've got nice support. Also, why I don't think this move is done is because gold had a very healthy climb the wall of worry, a credible move, just broke out, hasn't moved up much since, but it has a nice close on Friday. If it comes down, strong support, back up we go. Gold has only started its new breakout run to wherever it goes 4,600, 700, 750, 5,000. Basically. That's the target for early next year, I would say. This is really this is really happening, you know. Silver, don't know where it goes, but I'm pissed off because although this is the perfect candle, it should have been a day where you can almost retire if you're in the silver miners. Plus 10% should mean plus 30, 35% in the miners. I'll do GDX. Obviously, that's gold mining senior mainly. Close at new 52-week high. Perfect sort of realistic candle. We should go higher, and I think gold will go higher. We go higher next week, and maybe next week we finally get a bit more outperformance because this is terrible. And I don't mean GDX specifically. I mean the GDXJs and the SILs and the SILJ. GDXJ, fair enough. It's a nice candle, right? But given what's happened in silver, it should have been way more. So although next week we should be stronger than we have been this week, because this week's candle's just been this hesitance, this sideways, which is certainly not justified. Even the gold candles themselves should have been enough to go way higher. But silver, oh no, that's silver. Yeah, I wish the silver miners did that. If you look at SIL, let's just look at SILJ then. What is that? What is that compared to if you do SILJ versus, and you've probably seen these because everyone's talking about this. So I've been talking about this the last 3, 4 days because today is just the cherry on top. What is that? SILJ against silver. Terrible. In a real bull market, it should be all the way up. It should be new highs. New highs every day, basically, because silver's making new highs every day. Instead, we're down here. So either silver's going to have to come down or the miners have to go up. And I don't think silver's coming down the way it closed its candle on Friday and the way gold's just broken out. So this should be I don't understand. Is it thin trading because of the holiday season? It doesn't really make sense to me. I didn't trim miners on Friday. I was just stuck in awe looking at silver. And why would you sell when silver's just looking so strong and going higher? I don't know what to expect on Monday. I don't know whether I think silver should go up, therefore the miners should go up. But if we have another repeat where silver's going up and the miners are just up 1%, maybe I will start to trim and just be like, all right, it's 4 or 5 days going up non-stop with the silver price. We're not moving. We're gonna come down eventually, so I might as well just trim. And if I'm wrong and we finally go up later, fine. But just annoyed. I'm not happy, basically. Silver's up 10%. I'm not happy, and I'm a absolute silver bull. It doesn't. It's such a strange feeling. Let's look at the individual miners. Newmont, yeah, GDX, gold related, kind of copying GDX. Again, I expect gold to go higher. This is a good candle, right? It's better than the others, so we should finally have some sort of relative performance. So gold goes up 1%. Let's say on Monday, we should be up 3, which is what you'd expect. So I think finally we have a bit more normality. Let's say next week, Barrick, even better candle, close a high of day. Obviously, we should be going up if gold goes up next week. So that looks good at least. But 1.5%, that's okay. Nico Eagle, I thought we'd come back down because we'd probably asked too much from the metals, but obviously Friday was a crazy day for the metals. Still, 1% Agnico, really? Silver's up 10. I know it's not silver miner, but you know what I mean? It should be straight through like closing at 190. Anyway, Pan American Silver, probably this one of the strongest silver stocks out there. Silver's up 10%. It's up not even three. Not it should be up. Honestly, it should be up 24%. Like, and that's not even being too brutal. 20% double silver. 10% just one times silver. Matching silver's move. That's really weak performance. No, three. 2.9 actually. We should have tested 60 today. You know what I mean? Fine, the candle's not. I just, annoyed. Right, let's do the royalty stocks. Wheaton, new 52-week high close, etc., etc., new historic close. Fair enough. That's okay. That's okay. That's reasonable. Upwards we go towards, yeah, towards 130 eventually. So that looks okay. Franco Nevada finally catching back up. Should go here. Should test here. I think gold's. This is gonna look like gold but delayed. Just finally goes back up here and then breaks out. So if gold continues, which I think it will, Franco Nevada will finally, I think maybe even next week, start testing 52-week highs and maybe new all-time high close. Metalla inching back up, a bit behind, but it's had a crazy run. It should make a new 52-week highs next week. It'll be the last 52 weeks of the year, but I think it'll make new highs. Right, and then the rest, the mid-tier gold. That's a good little hammer, but yeah, okay, that's okay. 1 or 2 days behind gold. Equinox testing the 50-week high, just a bit behind. I am gold, maybe. But these are okay. These mid tiers, these seniors, the Wheatons, they're at 1, 2%. That's okay. I'll get to silver in a second. Let's just finish off. B2 gold, there you go. It's kind of pathetic, we should be higher. It should go higher. This is the one I want to trim, but I'm in no hurry. I certainly wasn't looking at any gold stocks yesterday, Friday. I was just watching silver and a few silver miners and just a bit annoyed looking at some juniors. I wasn't really paying attention to gold stocks, but they were kind of okay, up 1, 2%. That's okay. It's just the silver stocks. Harmony, yeah, more hesitancy, should break out next week. Aris Mining, this is the only one that had a good move. It was up, I don't know, 3%. I think a bit more after hours. That's okay. It's mainly a gold miner. But that's what it should be. If gold's up a couple, like 1% or something, Aris should be up 3, 4. That's what you'd expect. A little 2, 3xing what the underlying metals price is. And silver should be even more. But all right, SBSW, that was okay. Again, palladium up 11%. Platinum, these were huge moves, huge moves. Platinum, that's taken everyone's attention. It should have. New all time, I think, if we go to the weekly, you know what I mean? That's a crazy run. That's really nice. Palladium, same sort of thing. That one I went into a few days ago, so I did actually catch a decent amount of that move. I think I went into it like here or something, just as it made a new high. I wanted to get into it before. Then this ridiculous sort of retracement, and then followed by this absolute squeeze. Friday was a squeeze, a multi-metal squeeze. Just silver took most of the headlines, but palladium, I also saw that. So yeah, SBSW did okay. I think this one is getting more and more obvious. We are going to 20. And I think we go to 20, I'll be trimming for sure. Like I'm not selling anything until 20 because for me, the move in platinum, palladium, the other base metals is extremely obvious. So I'll do a little trim at 20, but I think I'm going to hold a bit more for a move higher. I never thought I'd do that because we've gone from 3 to 20 in a year. And I was in at the absolute bottom, adding down here, right? I remember the fours and actually the threes I was adding. So quite proud of SPSW, but I think it goes higher. I'm going to show you the silver miners, but before I do, I am right now I'm looking at some of these other metals. Copper, I've told you already. Nickel is something I'm absolutely interested in. Like silver's going crazy, but what about nickel? Copper, rhodium, platinum. I don't know much about these metals, but I do have a list of some of the best producers. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to start playing around with juniors in this space because I'm already lost with the silver juniors. I don't know them that well, but just go to the best of the best, the high exposure, low risk, and I think you can get like a nice 100% in. I mean, look what nickel did here. This is kind of what silver might do, by the way. All right, anyway, let's go to the silver miners. First, Majestic, which should have been up huge on Friday, up 1.2%. I don't know what they're skeptical, they're overbought, I don't know. Explain it to me. It's been happening 2, 3 days. I can understand them manipulating the silver price. They've been doing that for years. That's finally over. But would they really manipulate the miners index? How is it just it must mean investors don't believe this spike. They must think, oh, we're going to go up. It's a squeeze and come all the way back down. So therefore, it's not real. Uh, Therefore, the miners won't really sell the metals at this crazy price. It will come back down to 60. So let's keep it as it. I just, it pisses me off so much. 1.2% on a 10% day. Next one, CDE, same thing, 2.5%, whatever. Just refusing to go into the gap zone. I mean, what? What if silver's down 9%? What do we do? Are we just staying here? Or are we just gonna have a massive cannon that goes down to like 15, all the way down to 14? Because if you have 10% down day in silver, you'd probably get a, yeah, it would justify a move like all the way down to here. That's what a 10% move is on the way down. On the way up, it would be, yeah, basically all the way up here, especially CDE, the crazy one. That's what we should have had. It should have had a candle all the way up there or all the way down here. And it's as if the day didn't happen. Absolutely pissed of this. Heckler up not even 2%, not even 2%. This should be touching 25 or something. EXK, no, doesn't even want to touch the 52-week high. It just went up like a little, that was actually up 3%. Wow. And the Canadian stocks that I own, the juniors, they weren't even open. I guess the US tickers were, I could see what those were, but I've got about 5 or 6 of those. They actually, I trust them to move way more than these ones. At least the juniors have serious catch up. They should be extremely sensitive to the price of silver. So I think on Monday you might have the Canadian tickers moving up some of those juniors, and maybe that helps some of the seniors that didn't move. I don't know what to say. I'm just absolutely pissed. So I was just watching silver, just swearing at my silver miners, and I started to look up some other mines like nickel and all that, looking for the next, the next move for next year, copper, nickel, platinum, palladium. I'll start sharing some of those later, but at the moment I'm still completely focused. My portfolio is like 50, 60% gold and silver miners, the rest just uranium, copper, a few other base metals. I got some tech stocks, but and some cash obviously. So I'll leave the video there. I'm absolutely pissed. I'd like to know why you guys think those miners didn't perform, but I'm looking all over the internet. There's no real reason. Everyone's laughing, but I'm not laughing. I actually didn't really like Friday, despite what should have been a plus 30% day. I should be celebrating silver, but I'm just pissed. Anyway, let's see what happens next week. We should continue.